Hello everyone, today we are looking at Sony A6000, which was my previous camera before I bought this Sony A7C. So I'm going to talk about A6000 in the perspective of a beginner photographer and how useful it is for a beginner photographer in 2020, and should you buy one for yourself if you are just getting into photography. Now keep in mind that it is not a professional review or something, so I won't be going deep into technical specification. There are lots of videos out there. Considering this is a quite old camera, so you can find any information you want on the YouTube, but I just want to talk about how I feel as a beginner photographer with this camera. Nowadays cameras are pretty powerful, they're capable to meet anybody's need, but they make cameras for a specific reason, like A7S is for video, A7R is for high resolution big pictures, and then you have middle ground A7 III. So same goes with these cameras. In my opinion, A6000 is built for taking pictures because it doesn't have 4K or it doesn't have steady shots, so your footage is not going to be very good. Then it doesn't support log or other features you will find in general video specific cameras. Now if you are a beginner, probably you'll be okay with AVC HD codec, and you will probably not miss the log profile at all. And to be honest, for the beginners, log R is a bit harder to learn, but I would prefer to have that option in my camera for my future growth. But besides that, I was quite happy with A6000. But in the beginning I was not happy with the camera because I didn't understand it properly, and I think it is the main thing for any beginner photographer who is going out to buy a camera, that you need to understand the camera you are buying, especially the sensor, because there are many kind of sensors like a micro four third, APS-C, full frame. So which one are you buying? You have to understand that. I definitely didn't understand the crop factors, so I was in a disadvantage when I was buying lenses, and I had a different expectation about what I will be getting. So this camera being an APS-C sensor, this one has a crop factor of 1.5. That means you need to multiply the focal length and the aperture with 1.5 to know what aperture and what focal length you will actually be getting. This camera I bought with kit lens, which is 60:50. So if you factor in the 1.5 crop factor, it becomes 24:75, and the aperture is 3.5 to 5.6. So that means if I factor it in, that means the lowest aperture it can reach will be around somewhere 5.2 or 5.2. It means the low light performance for this lens won't be very good because it is not an low aperture capable lens. Also the bokeh won't be very good either. But let me put out one thing though, that I never tried it for night photography before, so maybe I will try it out with the kit lens or the other lens I have in the night and see what results it come out, and maybe post the results in one of my next videos. A lot of things going on in the back side of the camera. There is one D-pad here, there is a custom button here that also works as a delete button when you are in the galleries. Then you have a playback button here, then you have a function button there, here you have AL button, this one is the menu button, and then you have a pop-up flash button which pops up the flash. The flash is pretty flexible, and you can see you can adjust the way the flash is. You can throw it up, round, anywhere. Then we have another custom button, C1, and a custom dial. The scenes you're shooting. It can be landscape, portrait, or anything. And the software inside will take care of everything. Then you have superior auto and intelligent auto, and then you have program, aperture priority, then you have shutter priority, manual exposure, then we have memory recall option, the video function, and see panoramic function. We got one hot shoe here that where you can mount a flash if you want, or nowadays you can even mount the Sony microphones there. This one is EVF. Actually, I have no complaint about it, considering like it is even bigger than my A7C. The body is pretty simple. You got the battery here. Also, SD card also goes there beside the batteries. The thing with this one is, if you want to video it in an A7C codec, yeah, then you would need a very high card, you know, like the normal memory cards won't work. You need to have a high read and write capable memory card. Only then that codec is enough. Otherwise you will have to shoot with the normal codec or things like that. There is no mic port here, but they do have a charging port and a mini HDMI port here. Mini HDMI and a charging port here. This is Wi-Fi capability, so you can just take a picture and move it to your phone on the go. And now basically, you know, like Adobe using all their they call it like Photoshop and Lightroom in the iPad, and you know, then you can like take a picture, send it to your iPad, and just edit them on the go while you are like, you know, moving or going somewhere. This is kind of very helpful, being able to send the pictures through the Wi-Fi. So there, as you can see, that there, menu button here. Camera menus are like this, the gun-friendly one. So you have this one memory recall here, you have manual exposure, shutter priority, aperture priority, program priority, superior auto, intelligent auto, scene selection, sweep panorama, and movie mode. So in the function you have all the settings for the picture. The ISO goes from all the way from ISO can go down to 100 to all the way to 25,600. And as you can see, the lowest lowest you can go is 3.5. You can articulate this one. You can see the lowest you can go is 3.5. If you press this button, it can change the displays options that it is displaying at the moment, and custom key setting. So here you can change like all the buttons you want to reassign, which is useful. Okay, let's go here. As you can see, I can only record 25 or 50. The camera only can go up to 50. And then you have where is that here? As you can see, AVC HD is the standard one that you get, and to recording A7C mode, you need high speed memory card to get the option enabled. And here you can shoot a picture or JPEG at the same time. You can set the aspect ratio to see autofocus. You can set that on. And focus area, exposure compensation, let's make it 0. Setting, you have all the options like this one. Focus, you can set focus peaking, zebras, and everything. You can find it on the second one. And yeah, that's all. You can see the screen actually doesn't flip, but it can articulate this way or this way, whichever is comfortable, or like this. But yeah, but doesn't go flip out like the one that I'm shooting now on A7C. So APS-C cameras are actually quite capable. You just have to know a few things, like to multiply whenever you're trying a lens or aperture, to multiply them 1.5, and you have to understand what you will be getting from that camera. For example, I bought this, I didn't like the kit lens, so I bought this one. This one is Sigma. This one is a Sigma 60mm, right? So, and at the time I didn't know that much. So, anyways, the first time I bought this lens at that time, you know, I heard like everybody says you need to have a 50mm, you have to 50mm. So I went out to find a cheap 50mm. You know, I couldn't find, so I bought 60mm, and I didn't know what to expect from it. I was like, oh, everything was so close, everything was so close. But what I didn't understand, I actually bought a 90mm instead of a 60mm, because you know you have to that crop factor, so you have a 60 into 1.5 by 90mm. And also for it was 2.8, so it was actually 4.2 aperture, equivalent of a 30mm camera. So when they say get a 50mm, they actually mean the full frame equivalent, which means that would be somewhere around 35mm, right? But I didn't know that. So that's the thing you need to keep in mind when you're buying an APS-C camera, that you have to set your expectation accordingly and buy the lenses accordingly. This camera is really good with pictures. You want to begin, you know, your photography journey or videography journey, and you want to see if you enjoy it or not. There is no reason to pay very big bucks for big cameras like this one. Just buy one of these ones. Although if you're into videography, I would recommend you to get something like 6400 or 6600. Those ones are a little bit better. They have 4K. I think 6600 even has an in-body stabilization. So those ones are better for videography. And if photography, if you want to take picture, I think this one meets that bill pretty good. Just get a better lens. Kit lens is not very good, and don't make a mistake like me when buying a lens. Multiply it with 1.5 and see with the crop factor and see how equivalent focal length and your aperture. That's all. This video actually made it like a trial video. I'm not used to talking about all things in the videos. I'm just trying to get used to it. And yeah, that's all for today. And I hope I didn't make a lot of mistakes, but if you think there are made mistake and I can improve, feel free to let me know. Thank you.